Welcome to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. If you are new here, please consider hitting that thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. Please comment down below your thoughts on our takes. And with that being said, we are going to head into the video that you came here for.
Mhm.
Well, Sid, we we're heading to Missouri. We're heading to Columbia. But first, let's talk about a little recap of the Louisiana Tech game. Um, I know a lot of people were really disappointed in this game, especially the first half. What were you thinking? First half through the rest of the game, and your closing thoughts on the game overall.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, I was not happy, I would say. Overall, like there was a slow start.
Yeah.
Really, I just there's no reason why it should have been that slow of a start. We just couldn't get things going, and then um, I just couldn't find the rhythm, and it was kind of embarrassing, honestly. Just being saying it was 0-0 against
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana Tech for the longest time, but
Yeah.
defensively. Um, Honestly, they did pretty well. I didn't have much complaints for this one. Um, yeah, I think this game, like it was a game that we needed to win. We won. Moved past it. We got to the bowl game. We did. I think this whole season has been like that. Like game besides the Tennessee game, outside of that, it's been more of we need to win this game. We did win it. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we respond to games where we are on the fence on. Like, I think Missouri, it does count for that. We'll talk about that when we talk about that game. But I'm not. There's not a lot of takeaways from this game that are, I guess, positive or even that much of a negatives. It's just
Yeah.
more of a. It's just more of a game that was. We 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 played. We did well. We won. We walked out of
Yeah.
there. And I don't know about you, but that's what my thoughts are right now.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It was frustrating. The first half is like, or the first quarter at least, is like really 0-0 by the end of the first quarter. But they did get it going, and a win is a win. We're at
Mhm.
6 wins. Your predictions for the season was 7-5,
Yep.
so we're at the cusp of that. And you know, I, I don't know. I think that they won. I don't think that we
Right.
should be too upset, and we'll just have to see how that translates to next week. And I think that's kind of, I did you real quick before we move on to the actual Missouri game, but was there ever a time where you were thinking take Taylor Green out and just try out Singleton? I'm not gonna lie, I was really close to that, just going like, can they please just put in Singleton and see what happens?
Yeah. There yes. I really wanted to kind of see Singleton in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Against Louisiana Tech. We had talked about this kind of obviously with Texas in the that first half, but
Yeah.
I really thought they would put in Singleton in this game just to kind of see how he does and fares
Right.
for the future. But like this kid got no opportunities, um, and really that just kind of I don't know. It takes back on for him. Does he want to stay here? Does he like? Why would he want to stay here if he's not going to even get a shot to prove himself?
Yeah.
Um, and we'll never know, and that's the
Yeah.
bad part about, I guess, us as well. It's not like we're this great team with Taylor and Green, and well, of course we're going to keep him in all the time because he's the best, and this team is doing so much better with him.
With him,
No,
yeah.
it's more of there's question marks, and with those question marks, I think it would be good to see another option and to kind
Mm-hmm.
of if Malachi Singleton he's not good, then we would know he's not good. and we
Right.
can kind of be like, okay, let's
Move
move
on from
on.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. There's your answers, right? But
Mhm.
right now, we're this mediocre team with questions that can be answered but are not being answered. Um,
Mhm.
and that's a again a coaching decision, which I don't fully necessarily agree with, but that's where I stand.
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. I don't I would like to I would have liked to see what Singleton would have done, and just to kind of see what we have, and for them to see this, the coaching staff in a live game situation. I just don't know why we're hanging so hard on Talon Green, like hanging on so tight to him. Um, because like you said, it's not like we're lighting the world on fire with him. And there are times that it's just like, man, dude, this guy cannot throw the ball, or he's
Hmm.
running backwards too far. And this isn't to just be a show hating on Talon Green, but it is something to bring up. Like, why is there that reluctance to put in Malachi Singleton and see if he puts a spark? And I'm not saying that he'll beat Talon for the job. I don't know. But sometimes it just feels like, man, they need to do something to get a spark going. But they did finally get it going, and right as I was, really thinking, man, they really need to put in Singleton. Green had put together a great drive, and from there on out, they took care of business. But yeah, let's move on to Missouri, man. I really want to have hope that we can win this game, but I think it's a really tall ask. But I have something interesting too to say about this is I personally don't think that we have a snowball's chance in hell of beating Missouri at Columbia. It hasn't happened, and the inconsistencies of this season don't make me confident. However, with that being said, that's why if it happens, it should actually be a really big deal, and it could bring a potentially a lot of momentum into the off season, the bowl season. If you can beat Missouri for the first time on the road, you may be able to lock in some key recruits. And if you can then just cap it off with that bowl game and just say that you won 8, we all know that it's just a scrimmage for the bowl game and doesn't count, but it's still kind of, you can still boast and say 8 wins. I think that would be huge, for going into the offseason. I think losing, especially if you lose doing something stupid, like a stupid special teams mistake, or, like just something ridiculous, or get blown out, this place is going to be on fire. If you lose to Missouri, the program is going to be on fire from the fan base, from the national media, everybody is going to be on fire.
So you're saying that essentially there's two sides of the spectrum,
Mhm.
completely opposite, right? If Arkansas beats Missouri,
Right.
it's top of the world. Everyone's
Yep.
super happy about it
And
and
and it
going on.
really is top of the world. Like
Um,
7-5 doesn't sound that bad, but
right.
it's such a big difference from losing again to Missouri. If you break that streak, they're going to be the ones whose fan base is going to be like, drink. We won 10 games, 11 games last year with the bowl win.
Hmm.
You just lost to Arkansas this year at Columbia for the first time. What are you guys doing? And then the recruits are going to be like, oh, what is Drink doing? And the recruits that they were beating us out for are going to come to Arkansas, in my opinion. I think that there's a much higher chance of landing them if you beat them. I think that if you lose to Missouri, you will lose out on some key recruits. And I think you will gain some key recruits by beating Missouri. As weird as it sounds, I was always on that you need to get to eight wins train. I do think that 7 wins can still get you some key momentum going into the offseason. The thing is I just don't think that they're going to be able to do it. And it sucks, and I'm not rooting against it. I want them to go and win so bad. It would be so cool. But if I'm just being honest and I'm looking at the numbers and I'm looking at the probabilities here, and the history of what's been going on you know with each team, it's a tall task. It really is. But again, the rewards, oh man, I think that it would be big time rewards. And again, if you lose this game, the fan base is going to be a dumpster fire, and just it's going to be hard to recruit on the off season if you lose this game. It's going to be easier than last year. Last year, I mean, four
Yeah.
and eight, but do what you can not to get blown out. Do not get blown out in this game, for sure.
So here's my take on this a little bit, and in that I think we are more evenly matched than some might think, actually.
Yeah,
And here's why.
that's why I
Because
want hope. I think
um,
I think there's some hope, man, and but
yeah,
it's a dangerous thing.
because like in terms of when you look at Missouri's games this year and
Yeah,
what games they won, sure their record is 8-3, but when you look at those games that are 8 wins, you see who they've played, and it really hasn't been the greatest
no,
matchups, and in that they've won games that they were supposed
they've
to.
lost all their big
Um,
games.
and but the big games exactly that they had, like, can they prove themselves? No, they
No,
lost as well. Arkansas, same thing, right? Of course, we had that one Tennessee game,
mm-hmm.
but I don't consider that like a full on like even rivalry. This was, again, we talked about being flukes and whatnot, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave that out. But really, it's just when you look at Arkansas's schedule this year and you look at Mizzou's schedule in the terms of games that each team has played, I do think it's evenly matched, and in that record wise, I know they have two more wins than us, but
yeah.
they
The
also
schedule.
played.
If we had their schedule, we would be similar.
Exactly, and I really truly believe that.
Yeah, I do too.
And I know everyone, yeah, Mizzou fans might have a different say about this, as, um, of course, they're fans, but it's
Yeah,
just I don't know. When I look at this, I that's what gives me hope and a possibility of it being them being beatable. Yeah, and really just losing back to South Carolina, um, and really, I don't know. See it. I know it's history doesn't do well for us. When I say
yeah,
evenly matched, and then we look at the history, that kind
yep.
of favors them more and more, and like it kind of tips the scale a little bit, right? Um,
That's why I'm on the whole. I'll have to see it before I believe it.
right. And
But
the scales are tipped
I'm
in their
hopeful.
favor,
Yeah.
for sure. Right now, it's just, does this team have one last fight in them? I know you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the bowl game about getting to 8 wins. I don't care about the bowl game right now. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know who we're going to be matched up against. Um, this season is what truly matters. And um, do we have that one last fight in us to kind of make a statement? This is
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm
Yeah.
not considering a bowl game. I know I saw that video after the Louisiana Tech. They were super hyped, and um,
Yeah.
the Pittman threw the bowling ball. Great, you are like happy. This shouldn't be. I get it. You made it to a bowl game,
Yeah.
but this one last game,
It's the most
you
important
have a
piece.
chance to kind of truly prove yourself, even more than making it to a bowl game, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Um, just getting to the 7 wins and then knocking Missouri off at their home, like punching them in the mouth at their home
Yeah.
field, taking them out of the top 25. Like, these
Yeah.
all things are gonna be like crucial, and just being like
It'd be a great way to end the season.
a border rivalry, almost like
Yeah.
right now, us
Yeah.
having just like losing, the rivalry isn't even there. I mean,
Yeah. We haven't won one of our rivalry trophy games since
mhm,
2021.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, I think we've said it enough where we know how important this win is for fans. I just hope the team, Pittman, and the coaching staff all realize like this is more than just a regular season game. This is more important than just. I know we've already made a bowl game, but this is truly to show your fans
Yeah.
what you can do.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think, like you said, they do have a shot. It's a decent shot. It's just, man, the ball does not bounce our way in these games in in the past, but records are
Hey,
meant
I
to be broken, right?
exactly. I predicted 7-5, like you said
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
We need one more.
We need one more.
I have the
And
exact
this will be
score
a big
predictions.
one.
I still have that exact score prediction in
What are you
my
saying, Sid? What are you
notebook.
saying?
I still got it written down here. I'm going to
What is
stick
it?
with it. It was 24-21 with Arkansas
Boom.
winning.
You heard it here
Um,
first at
exactly.
that
This was
Heartbreak Hogs podcast.
this was predicted at
24
the
to
start of the
21.
season. Start of the season,
24
revenge game. Come on.
21.
Need to see it happen.
Yep. All right.
Need to see it happen.
Well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go to the next segment and go Hogs, go and beat Mizzou. Beat them. Let's finish this thing 7-5 going into the bowl season, and let's pick up some key recruits from the portal in the 2025 class. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. Again, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and commenting down below. We'll see you guys in the next video.